Have you ever looked out the window at the rain pouring down and thought, I just want to go craft? Well, that's exactly what we're doing this month. I'm Heather Cameron, and this is Tracy Sundu, and we are the co-hosts of the Scrapbooking Fun Circle and the Scrapbooking Fun Summit. And this month, our theme is Pour It On because it is pouring rain out here. It's been pouring rain for days, and it's going to pour for the next week. We are taking all of that rain day energy straight into our craft tables. Think about pouring colors, ink sprays, watercolor washes, mists, and splashes. Whether you're a card maker or scrapbooker, this month is all about pouring your heart into what you create so you can grab your supplies and let's go. And so, as we always do, we're going to go through a prompt, a twist, and a tip to inspire you to craft and to craft along and create something really fun with the theme of rain. And Tracy, is it raining?
Raining. It's always raining, like you said lately.
Yeah, we are having a very typical April. For those who don't know, we live in Ottawa, Canada, and we often don't get much of this, but this year we are April showers bring Mayflowers 100% going on right now. So we are going to start with our prompts. And so for cards, the prompt for card makers is create something drenched in color and texture. Use watercolor washes or ink blends and mists and create that kind of pour look on your backgrounds. Maybe adding layers or something that feels and really getting into that feeling of kind of pour and put flow into your card background. Or do a card of someone playing in the rain. I just have this image of this little kid's, boots stomping in the water and doing an image like that. That's fun to give to somebody, either as a I've been thinking about you card or even a fun birthday card.
For scrapbooking, we say to scrapbook a memory connected to the rain, a stormy day, the smell of wet pavement, or a cozy afternoon indoors, with your coffee. Or simply let it pour it on guide to your design. Layer it up, go bold with some color, and don't hold back. And sorry, Heather, as kind of you mentioned, I encouraged a friend of mine, and we're talking we'll say 60-plus-year-old, to go out and jump in the puddles, for her granddaughter. And oh my God, she loved it. I'm like, it's fun. So yes,
Actually,
do it.
that's what I was thinking when you were reading it is go out, take your camera, go out, jump in some puddles, or if it's a blistery cold day, go out and take a picture of that, or go out with your kids and your grandkids or your puppy dog. I know. So I had a dog who would not go out in the rain by herself. She's like, okay, I really got to do my business, but it's pouring out there and I don't want to be a wet dog. So every time it was pouring really hard, I had to put on my raincoat. I had to go out and walk her because that's the only way she would do it. And so that would be a fun memory to scrapbook. I don't have any pictures of it, but thinking about it, that would have been a begrudging fun memory to scrapbook. So think about
Yeah.
that, but do something like that.
Add fun to it.
Yeah, add fun to
Rain's
it.
not that bad, I guess, right?
Well, personally, my favorite rainy day is a really brilliant thunderstorm at a cottage where you're sitting in the nice, you're just watching the rain fall in the lake. I think rain can be
Yeah,
very fun and therapeutic. So from a scrapping
yeah,
perspective, capture it. From a card, you have an opportunity to send a card that catches that sentiment. So that would
exactly.
be. The next one of our prompts or our topics that we do monthly is add a twist. And so what I want to give you for a twist this time is mix your media. So try combining watercolors and colored pencils to make things pop, or add ink blends over a stamping image. One of the things I know from what I do in my own drawing is if you outline an element either in black or white, it makes it pop. So you could outline the whole picture, or if you wanted, like if you're doing an image of somebody with an umbrella, you outline the umbrella. Or, if you've done a wash, pick the spots that really are kind of cool that pop out. So if you poured something, you can outline particular spots and they start to pop out. So the twist is mixing your medias, pick two techniques you wouldn't normally use together and see what happens. And then if it looks kind of flat, pull out your black permanent ink or a white gel pen. And it's amazing how much just adding those things will make things pop from your background. So that
Yeah,
is the
yeah,
twist of the month.
yes. And my tip is when you pour it on, you don't need to control every drop of it. Start with a color you love, let it spread, and just build it from there. The layers and unexpected blends are what make pour techniques so beautiful. give permission to play, kind of like in the puddles, and see what unfolds. Like, and it's true because think of when if you're spraying or you're pouring something down, the drops, not everything is going to be perfect or land exactly where you want, but it's going to be natural and nice, and you're going to have fun
Exactly.
with it.
And like I said, in my twist is to make them pop. There are ways it kind of looks flat, but when you add multiple techniques, that's why multimedia works. But just adding those
Yes.
little accents with a pen, or if you're doing watercolors with colored pencils, or if you're doing, you can pull things out and make them pop. And depending on whether you want it to be a subtle background or you want it to be a background that you use that pops, you can also take your colors, take your, do a pour. I've seen this a lot actually. Do a pour and then use your stamp, your dies, and cut out shapes in that pour,
Yeah.
right? So you can take whatever you pour, whatever you play with, um, use your markers. So one of the things I love to do, it's a great meditation, relaxing thing, is to take your markers and just do that old doodle and then color in the spots in the doodle, thicken the black
Mhm.
lines, and then use one of your dies and cut out those shapes and use those shapes. So you can do
Okay.
that, and it's really therapeutic to do that kind of squiggle, whatever you want to call it.
Yes.
I've done
Well,
this all
that
my
makes
life.
sense
I'm a
to me.
doodler. I'm a doodler, so doing that kind of squiggle and doing that, and then
Yeah.
using your dies and cut out
Just
shapes in the pattern that you've just used. So your pours don't just have to be backgrounds, right? It's one of those things you can do a pour and create stuff, and then you can take the pour that you've done, make flowers out of them. You can, like, we had someone in our circle last month who showed us how to make flowers out of circles, right? So you can cut them and do that. So think of it as more than just a background.
no, it's very true. And what you just said, like, it doesn't have to be the background. You put your flowers or whatever it might be, your pictures, and then you can use, some of those brushes, those paint brushes that you'll press into, and you just kind of flicker and splatter it on top, and wherever it lands is where it lands, right?
Exactly. And
And
that's another
yeah,
part of just playing with the pour,
yes,
playing with your media. And you
yeah,
know what? If you're in a
enjoy
place
it.
like us, it's raining. So play with your crafts.
Yes,
Do that. Draw. Do whatever it is. But think about
yeah.
mixing your medias up, pouring it, but using it in a way you've never used it before. And so I think that
Mhm.
die cut is a really quick way to use it. So just make some and then use them not just as backgrounds. And so you can use them as
Enjoy
a
it.
So that
Mm.
is our tip for the month. We do this every month. If you're interested, we have our big event coming up soon. Registration opens in May for the Scrapbooking Fun Summit. It will be opening mid-May, and that we have 30 plus speakers coming. It's going to be a great event. The summit itself is June 3rd to June 7th. And enjoy, have fun crafting. Let us know if you try any of these techniques. Comment on the post. If you want to be on the wait list for the Scrapbooking Fun Summit, so you're the first to know about it, go to scrapbookingfunsummit.com. Right on that page, you'll have a link that you can sign up for the wait list. We would love to have you there. We're really excited about the summit coming up. And we love the concept of pour because who wants to be out in the rain? Well, unless you've got your boots and you're jumping in puddles, but you might as well be crafting when it's pouring rain. Have fun with it. And thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next month. Bye.
Enjoy.